y'all? How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Welcome to the IAmSurvivingVegan podcast.
Yes, it is.
We appreciate you all for always listening, tuning in on Facebook, Instagram,
all the
Spotify, everywhere. We appreciate y'all.
Everywhere.
You already know I'm your host, Surviving Vegan, a.k.a. Arisha Shun.
And I am Grizzy the King in the building.
Yes, and we are on podcast number, is this?
This
yes?
Like 11.
This 11? We're on podcast
11. Number 11. Yeah,
oh,
we did
wow.
good.
11 is a master number.
And it is awesome because you guys are tuning in. Y'all are chiming in. Y'all leaving comments. Y'all are tagging us or whatever it may be that y'all could do. Y'all are doing. And we appreciate y'all.
Thank you so much. Share this podcast with your friends, families, and anybody you want to know that needs to know the realness.
The real.
So today we are talking about trust in the process.
Trust the process. Are
Trust
you trusting the process, y'all?
Trust.
Have you even started a process?
Have you?
That's a question.
I know, and people say, trust the process because they're on the journey, but there are people that looking at the journey and want to get on the journey, but they don't trust it. Okay, is this really going to work for me? Will I survive this? Will I be faithful to it, committed to it? No matter where you are in your walk and in your journey, we want you to trust the process.
You got to trust. Every
trust is how you stay committed, by the way.
Every situation that you go through is a part of the process. You want to be able to, I won't say control the process, but you have the narrative of what the process is supposed to get you to. And that means that you have to trust every obstacle, every person, every situation, whatever it may be that comes in front of you. Because ultimately, the journey that you're on, you have to have those lessons. Those lessons are there to get you to the next side of the journey.
Yes.
And that's the process.
They have to trust the process. There will never be a time where everything is perfect. There will just never be a time that will happen. So if you have that thought process in your mind and you think everything is going to go right.
Do you realize the different thing is the understanding of what perfection is. People have given this term perfection of everything has to be right. Mm-hmm. That's not accurate. I believe that everything that's around us is in perfection. Everything around us.
I am perfect. I am
perfection.
And I am imperfectly perfect, meaning, a lot of the quote unquote status quos that have been put upon us, this type of statue that we have to reach is made up. Okay, somebody just said and they decided that this is what it is. This is what the actual status is or the status quo is. And that's just made up. That's somebody's opinion. That's someone's philosophy. But you have your own perfection within yourself. And if you learn to go within and find out who you are, what your experience is, who you are to your family, who you are to yourself, and most importantly, what your mission is in this realm, then you'll understand that you are perfectly perfect. I don't have to be like this. I don't have to be like that. Even if I fail at, to society standards, you're still perfect because I guarantee that there was something that you learned from that. And that's what I feel like, people like to say failure. Failure only happens when you keep on keeping on, making the same mistakes. And it's okay to make the same mistakes, but if you don't learn from your mistakes,
preach.
But if you don't learn from your mistakes, that's when you have a problem, right?
That is accurate. I mean, literally, I just was on the car ride here, and I had the same exact. I feel like you was my twin. We connected by the brain.
Yeah, we are.
Because, every situation you experience is there for a learning lesson. Yes. Every experience. It's not one experience that you go through that you're not supposed to learn a lesson from. And I don't believe in bad and good. I understand the bad and good is a duality. You have to have bad with the good. You have to have good to have the bad. So you can't look at it as the definition book terms that they've given us. Mm-hmm. You have to, at some point, rid your mind of those concepts because they're unhealthy. And you have to realize that every obstacle, every situation is meant for you to go through so that you can learn. If you don't learn, you're going to continue to go through the process. Mm-hmm. You're going to continue to feel those bumps and issues because you never learned from the last one. That's what the universe is going to constantly give you, the cycle. And you're going to have to learn from these cycles.
And he said, you have to have the bad and the good. I want to just clarify that a little bit. He doesn't mean like bad. We got to have killings and murders and all that. Mm-hmm. No, that's not what we mean. But guess what? there is a lot of what people consider bad karma in the world, or God's judgment on the world because of us not learning our lessons. If you kill someone, in your community, you see the pain that it causes the family, the victim's family, the community. Maybe it was a person like Nipsey Hussle recently passed. A whole community of people were down. We're supposed to look at that and learn from that lesson and move forward to be more harmonious. So we're not saying because that there is good in the world, there has to be bad in the sense of, hurting or harming people. We're talking about your own experience. Okay, we have to take care of ourselves individually so that we can be a community that takes care of one another.
Correct.
We're trying to get this community aspect when we don't even got each other together or ourselves together, right? So when we're talking about the good versus bad, or you have to have good and bad, and this is duality, we're talking about yourself, your consciousness. Okay, before you make a decision or before you act upon something or a conflict, you are faced with a choice. Most of the time, that choice is positive, the way you can react or act. Sometimes that could be negative. So if you continue to react the negative way, you're going to continue to attract negativity, that side of the polarity. But if you can, make as many positive choices as possible, you're more likely to get a positive outcome.
I have my younger brother, he's 21. He just went through, I literally just had this conversation with him. And I remember when I was 21 that I didn't want to hear what nobody had to say.
Yeah.
I had to get to a point of, I was like, 27, 26, when I had to really make a conscious decision on what I was doing and understanding my process. I had put myself in so many bad situations, or let's not even say I put myself in, those bad situations were presented to me, and I viewed them a certain type of way. But I had a decision to make in those situations.
But how did you view it?
I viewed it as, this is just life. It is what it is. I'm going to push through it. But without...
Can you give an example?
Yeah. But example, when I was about 19, that was the first time with the jail. My mind had basically been warped from the music, from the lifestyle of just living fast and everything. It was gone. And that wasn't just over a 1 day span. It was over a time frame of my whole life. And I basically cracked under the pressure. And I started to live a life that wasn't true to me. So that meant I was robbing, I was stealing, and the last incident that took me to jail was I decided to rob some black brothers at a dice game. That's what happened. And these brothers, I didn't have to do nothing to them. I didn't have to bother them. I didn't have to say nothing to them. I could have kept going about my way, but that was the decision I made in my mind, and that decision landed me in jail. Literally a couple hours later, and it's all about the choices. Let me get a little simpler, because that's very deep for me to tell you. That's drastic. So let's go to maybe, I like cars. I love cars. I used to drive cars fast all the time. I one time was driving down the street and a car cut me off. This is just, y'all go follow me. The car cut me off. Instead of me slowing down because the car was cutting me off, I decided to be Speedy Gonzalez and speed around the car and try to beat him. What happened? The car continued to merge over and I crashed and hit him in the back. I could have avoided that. It was a decision I made to keep being this fast-paced person, or whatever it may be. I kept on that track, not making that conscious decision to not go that way. And I had an accident.
Absolutely.
And that's, use this concept in every aspect of your life.
Sometimes we have to make those split decisions, and other times, like the example you gave when you were robbing somebody, you had a whole thinking process.
Correct.
That led up to that. So we want you to know that there is a lot of, as he said, he cracked under the pressure. There is a lot of forces that want you to choose that negative polarity. Correct. So that you can land yourself in situations that you probably can't get yourself out of. Correct. So you have to know that. Number one, you have to become aware of that, because you'll think, I'm just out here robbing, I'm just out here doing this because that's my thing to do. But there were influences since you were
you even paid this,
freaking 2 months.
Exactly.
Exactly. So we want y'all to know that we know that this is not an easy journey. So if you decide to take this journey, you have to trust the process, because there's a lot of forces that are trusting the process of you failing.
Exactly.
That are trusting the process of you giving up. Trusting the process that you will not prevail. So you have to trust that you will succeed. You have to trust that you will succeed, because who else gives that to you but yourself? Yes, our parents have a role in it, but especially if we grown and got children already, now you only can lean on your own understanding, and you know within your soul what's right and wrong. I believe every person is able to do that.
Every person is able to do that. Peace, too. You know, for us as a couple, we've had our own experiences together that took us, and we had to trust the process. This whole Surviving Vegan brand
trusting the process,
based off of trusting the process. We come from low class family. Well, let's just say
working class
families. You know, I only had one parent in the household raising 4 black boys. Her home was her mom and her dad. They separated. Then her stepfather came in. But we had really no direction. They didn't even have their own direction.
And I actually just had that talk with my mom today.
And we were able to, we went through a lot of pitfalls. Of making bad decisions, because it was our choice. Even though we was
set up for failure.
Mm-hmm. We still made the choice and made the road, because we did get us to a certain point in our life where we had conscious decisions and we couldn't blame it on nobody else, even way before our adulthood. But we when we get to this point of surviving vegan and breeding this life, we had to look at each other and sit down and say, well, what are we going to do? This is what we want to do. Can we do it? Will we do it? And we made the decision to say, yes, we can do it. And we kept on the path. We didn't stop. We trusted the process, even when the money stopped, even when companies went going down, or even when we ain't got nobody really looking at and talking to us or wanting to be in our presence or whatever it may be. We still had to continue
and trust the process.
And things continue to manifest.
Mm-hmm.
Remember your cycles. Remember that everything is a cycle. Everything will not be on high.
No.
Everything will not be on low.
No.
You will constantly go through these
cycles.
Motions
and yeah, it's funny that you go like this, because we've been trained to think that everything has a starting point and then an ending point. No, like he just said, it's a cycle.
That's it.
It goes in a circle. So if you can adopt that mind frame and that mindset that this is not, I started great, now I'm ending bad. No, I am high and then I am low. I am high and then I am low. It's the circle of life. The circle of life. Hey. Mm-mm. And it moves. Let me stop before they get a licensing agreement on me. But they banned us for a licensing agreement. But the point that we're making is it's a circle. It's a cycle. Everything is a cycle. You look at your own house. Go turn the light on and off. Cycle. Okay, go look in the seasons, a cycle. Even every day is a cycle between night and day. So your life is the same way. Remember, we say this all the time. You're not in nature. You're a part of this nature. Exactly. Okay, you exist within it. You're a part of it. So if you're seeing it happen outside of yourself, then of course it's happening within yourself, with your emotions. Okay, especially with your spirit, how you feel, and most likely what you eat as well. So trust the process if you're also just starting that physical journey of being vegan. Trust the process if you're doing the Surviving Vegan Detox Challenge. Trust the process if you're in the kitchen making Surviving Vegan mac and cheese. Just trust the process, y'all. If you know that you're making good decisions, if you know that you're being as calculated as possible, you know, sometimes it's a split of a second that you're making a decision. But if you know you're setting yourself up ultimately for success, trust it. You
know, literally, if you feel like you are making proper decisions in your life and things are still going negative, do some reevaluating.
Mm-hmm.
Please. Because don't get complacent in your walk, in your journey. Because we'll think that, I'm doing everything right. Why is this happening to me? My brother, I just talked to him. He feels so much like that. And I tell him, but you have to evaluate. You had other options. You had other choices to make. Or if you say that you're doing the best you can do better.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the spirit is leading you to do.
Yeah.
Be even better than what you are today. Because until you leave this place, you're going to constantly be bettering yourself. Or at least you should be. So.
We are constantly like that uneasy feeling we get. That's the spirit telling you, get on up off your feet and dance till you get better. Keep reevaluating. Keep seeing, like, what am I doing that I could do differently? You have to self-evaluate. We go to other people, psychiatrists, psychologists, to evaluate us, but are you evaluating yourself?
You know yourself better than anybody.
Exactly. You know you better than you. So we encourage you as Surviving Vegan family, from family to family, evaluate yourself. It's easy for us to look at our mom and daddy, our husbands, wives, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, and say what they should do. What should you do? Master self. Master self. That's the biggest process I think you'll ever have to trust is, am I being the best version of myself? Mentally, spiritually, and physically.
Not trying to be something that you saw.
Uh-huh.
Don't try to be something you saw, yo. I'm telling you, like that is a dud.
That is.
That's a dud. You got to.
It's somebody else's projection.
Period.
Right? It's somebody else's
projection. And you don't
projection.
even know. People, we want to copy, and I understand we're all copycats. I would definitely say that we all, in some form or fashion, have copied something or someone. Cool, but you still have to have some type of identity to yourself because you don't know what that person is going through or went through to put this face on or be who they are or. Whether it's genuine or not.
People be out here pump faking and you trying to be like them, knowing they fake.
You don't know, so just trust your journey. Trust your path. If the door ain't open up for you yet, wait till your door open up.
And you better be ready for the opportunity. That's what you should be doing.
Exactly.
Preparing, making sure you're prepared for the opportunity. I had to trust the process. I'm not speaking from, like he said, somebody coming from privilege telling you to trust. No, we came from the same place most of us start.
And we got a lot more places to go.
Exactly. We got a lot more places to go. But we continuously push the envelope with ourselves. Like, we can't get complacent in our healing. We can't get complacent in changing our eating habits. We stayed at this level for a year. All right, it's time to take it up a notch.
I think that is one of the biggest dynamics that me and her and our family has stumbled across. To be able to hold each other accountable and still push the envelope no matter what. Not giving up on this walk, on this journey. It's hard as hell. It's hard. It's hard.
Healing ain't easy. It sound nice, but
everything we saying to y'all, it's like, damn, but I know y'all process is gonna be hard. Mm-hmm. We not telling y'all from a perspective like, oh man, it's gonna be easy, or we giving these Jews to make your process so much easier. No, because that's not reality. Your process is gonna be a process. Your process is gonna be hard. That is the creating the diamond and the rough. That's what that is. You gonna be that diamond after you come throughout that pressure that you done been through. You know what I'm saying? So don't take it like we just giving the tools and this is just gonna help me so much right now. Take it with take it like a grain of salt, I would say, and still believe in yourself and your process and
trust it. I mean,
flourish, man.
We have such a lack of self-love and self-resilience, and we have a lack of just overall belief in self. So just know that that's going to have to be something you tackle first. If you know, be honest with yourself. If you know you have issues with complacency, procrastination, just getting started on things that you said you're going to do. If you have that, you got to assess that too, because there's multiple journeys within the journey. You got to find out, why am I the way I am, so that you can eat better, so that you can be better, so that you can be a better person in relationship to be with.
That's the overwhelming
everything.
Part.
It becomes overwhelming, but don't make you not start.
Yeah, don't do that because
I'm happy that I started because it changed my life forever, but it was hard. I remember days being angry, crying, like upset, like, oh my God, I'm doing all this work and stuff still happened, but I trust the process.
I still be feeling light of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So don't think, and that's why we as transparent as we could be. We still go through those things today. Literally.
I had a little slump like about a week and a half ago. I was just like, oh my God. So am I doing great in life right now? What
exactly.
is this?
Like that, and that part I don't blame on us. I do blame that on the conditioning that we've been forced to endure through our 30 years of being on this planet. I truly don't just take that and say, oh, it's our fault that we feel that way. Look at the stuff that they do to us.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the stuff and what they promote, what the trauma we deal with as a community on a day-to-day basis. I just was on freaking Instagram.
Don't talk about that man with his foot in his neck. Don't talk about that. That's what you talking about?
No, it's a whole. That's the thing. It's so much more trauma. Every
just
day.
Scrolling on your phone is trauma.
Like it's crazy. You getting trauma from Instagram. You getting trauma from YouTube. You getting trauma from just the news. You getting trauma from just scrolling your phone. Like she said, your damn phone is giving you trauma. Your phone.
You going trauma. You go to your mama house. She talking about this person. Get on the phone with your homegirls, your homeboys. They always got something going on.
I don't blame that on us as a community. I don't. But we do have to start taking accountability for ourselves, which will make the whole better. That's where it starts. Taking care of yourself. All that. I'm an advocate for just us being safe, being happy, but that stuff start at home. That stuff start inside of yourself. That's why we got so many murders, so many deaths, so many people going to prison. That's why these people got a system, but it still starts with us. We still have to start making that change and trusting these processes, man, of change.
That's pretty much, what we wanted to say and bring you all hope and just let you know that we're rooting for y'all. We put energy out into the universe that everyone that is meant to come in contact with the Surviving Vegan brand does. And hopefully they're receptive to the message. A lot of people come to us just because of the food, but that's only 1/3 of the actual duality, or I should say trinity. Some people come to us just for the detoxes. Again, that's only 1/3 of the trinity. It's mind, body, and spirit. We don't want anybody to forget that. If you want to be healthy mentally, you have to be eating healthy food, feeling good, so that you can eat healthy food. If you want to feel good, you got to eat healthy food. All right. If you want to eat healthy food, you got to be thinking good. So all of these work together. It's not like, let me fix my food first, then I can fix my mind. No, all that happens together. Okay. If you feeding yourself chemicalized food, you feeding yourself fake foods, you're going to have a fake sense of reality. Okay. You're not going to be in tune with yourself. You're going to be out of tune. So that's why we want you all to know all of this works together. Let's say it together. All of this works together, right? Turn to your neighbor and say it again. All of this works together. Y'all have to remember that, okay? So what we want y'all to do right now, if you're not following us on Instagram, make sure you follow us at IAmSurvivingVegan.
IAmSurvivingVegan _ Grizzythaking.
He's SurvivingVegan _ Grizzythaking.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you was talking. That's a blooper, y'all. But SurvivingVegan _ Grizzythaking. Grizzy the King, THA
King. And then we have YouTube, where you can search us, Surviving Vegan TV, Shopify, Blooper, another one, Spotify, iCloud, all of that. Share our podcast with your family, your friends, and we just appreciate y'all so very much. One more thing I want to say. We're doing this 30-day journey of From Trauma to Triumph. That is coming. We're trying it out on ourselves first, and we're going to be teaching you all how to do this. 30 days from trauma to triumph is basically us doing all of the assessing, looking within, so that we can figure out what trauma we have to heal. Because like we said, we're continuously pushing the envelope to go to the next level. We're on day number 8 right now, and we feel great. We not laying down, y'all. Y'all can't lay down either. If you know there's some stuff that you need to heal, get to it. My mama told me today this coronavirus made me really face some things I was dealing with. Don't let this time opportunity pass you by where we have so much free time, we can get distracted. Go within and heal yourself. So I just want to send y'all peace, love, and light for that.
Peace, love, and light, y'all. We love you.